Again. Yeah, so you're 1, 2, 3. You want to try that?
Hi.
Yeah? 1, 2, 3. Oizuki this time. 1, 2, 3. So you're armbarring. Armbar. But like I am just trapping, not grabbing. Like think about what that is trying to teach you, is that connection and that holding on. So you're kind of going in, trapping chest, and then all I have to do is just expand my chest. That's all I'm doing from that point. So think about how you're trying to make that mechanic within the kata. You understand? Right. Not grabbing and using your upper body, chest against his arm. Yeah? Is like Manjigamai in Gankaku is 1, 2, 3, this rotation, yeah? So like if Oizuki comes and you're kind of pulling round, this feeling, grabbing, so this, like the original Gankaku Chinto, you're from here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And this middle one is a count. So it means that you're doing something, right? So try this. Let Oizuki come in, and you're bringing him round to that point. And then from here, grab, punch, or even, yeah, you're grab. You're getting ready to tap. Your wrist is on his neck. Like that's the same form, yeah. So dropping down, punching as you're holding, dropping down and grabbing, strangling, your choice. But this round and down, there's no chinto. Gankaku. Chinto gankaku. Yeah.
And Hangetsu,
yeah. Okay. So original Hangetsu. Like this was never big. Like when I first learned this, it was very much kind of the athletic performance of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but originally, this was just escape. So, kind of this feeling. Yeah. So this idea that someone attacking, and you're escaping. So like they were obsessed with not obsessed. It's the wrong word. Kicks were low.
Yeah.
And so it was always you needed a defense for a low kick. So if someone's like low kick and you're like this feeling, yeah, where you're just escaping. So okay, let's try this. Let's try someone takes your ashibarai. Your ashibarai, let them ride it, step back. Ashibarai, ride it, step back. Let them take your leg, step back. So ashibarai, take, step back. Understand?
Okay.
So all you're doing, don't hack, pull, step back, pull. It's much easier in the dojo. Glasses recommended. Pull, step back. Understand?
Right.
Let's try that first, then we'll move on. Then all you're doing is taking control, letting it go out. Taking control, letting it go out. Like, this doesn't have to be an ugly kick, a beautiful kick, it just has to be a kick. Yeah, so... Like, he's good at acting. So, take in. Well, this Satomi Sensei once said, okay Rick, let's do Kumite and Karate Kumite.
Yeah.
And you said his techniques were ugly and horrible, but everything kind of, he just put on like all his sense on it. Like hell. Yeah, you want to have that sense. Like you don't, hey Rick, just relax, pretend. Like you don't have to kick. You just have to kick. I'm kicking the floor. I'm not classically kicking. I'm just putting my foot on his chest, kicking the floor. Do you understand?
Right.
So have that sense. Have that sense. Ashibarai comes. Everyone's too much concerned about form. Don't worry about form. He's already Ashibarai'd you. You are in a bad position. All you're trying to do is recover. You need a twitch from your core. You need flexibility in your hip, and to be able to control. So you're having. Where are we? Here, yeah? Okay. So from here, it's about kind of that and strong twitch from your core and your controlling going down, right? So I want you to think about that. So I'm here, like kind of low kick or ashibarai, cover this feeling, yeah? You are facing this way, but cover in. And then once you have that, cover in feeling, or cover in feeling. Like you can do anything you want from that point. Or this cover in feeling. You can do anything you want from that point because you've got the strength, flexibility, and control in that supporting leg. Understand?
Heian Nidan from the Nikite to the transition.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. I mean, what I would say about, like, I can give it meaning, you know, like someone attacks and you're kind of going in and taking this, like there's a so like you see, like, come in guys, come in. Let's see what sound we make, shall we? so you see, like this doesn't hurt. Like this is a kind of control, so it doesn't hurt. But as soon as Rue wants to move, like, so it's standing still, doesn't hurt. But like, say if I want to bring him over here, it's fairly easy. Oh, I want to take him over there, or like so like, you can try this with your partners, yeah. So ultimately, I would think if someone attacked, you're simply doing that, taking that, or thumb in the eye, that type of thing. For me, that like that kind of feeling of going in is kind of parry and going in. That's kind of like the nicest application. Then if I wanted, like, what I was going to say is that I wouldn't necessarily adjoin that with the next move. But if you want me to, I can crowbar some sort of moving into that feeling where I'm in back stance and kind of making some sort of movement. But I wouldn't necessarily do that. But you can. I've just done it. Okay, so do that. So someone attacks and you're just simply going in and take. So 1, 2. 1 or 1 to the eye, wherever it is, or just a 2, or even Nukite. I don't particularly like that, but you can, wherever you want to do. And then you've got this tactile feeling, so you know where this is. You can easily change. And use that. Use your, because basically, Zenkutsudachi, to Kokotsudachi, you haven't shifted your center line. Like that, and that is the same, right? So keep your center line, take control, and then just pull that round. Yep. Yamagamai, but Yamagamai, like, it is about that structure. Oh yeah, you take photos for now, honey. Like, and so like that turning out and that kind of structure of your core, I think that's super important. I don't think it has any more kind of special application than kind of Oizuki coming and you just simply holding that, which is basically the same as Manjigamai, Yamagamai and Manjigamai. Like, I would kind of roughly give it the same application. Like that sense of cutting your hip in, holding, taking something, using your structure to make that connection in order to dominate your partner. I would give it no more. I mean, you can, of course, like there's variations like this feeling, like where you're kind of doing that double tap. Of course, you can always come on the inside, but that's all. I mean, I think with that sequence though, there's something else going on, and so that kind of like use of your, like we've been talking about Chu Tanden quite a bit, or I've mentioned it a couple of times over the weekend. So this feeling I think is super important, and using this. So like someone coming in and you're just using this kind of feeling. Doesn't matter what comes in. Well, it's always Gakuzuki. It doesn't matter what's coming in. It's always Gakuzuki. Doesn't matter what's coming in. You're kind of thinking about using your Chu Tanden to kind of get in and use that. So for me, that whole sequence, that whole is about kind of trying to articulate this upper body.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Do you want to try that? I think that's quite like, and then it exists a couple of times. You can think about it in Hangetsu. You can also think about it in Niju Shiho, like this. Anything comes, and like you may be blocking one hand, punching the other. The other hand might be the same hand. You might be kind of like one hand, opposite hand, but your choice. But this, and you'll find that you have quite a lot of power when you snap your shoulder in that way. Try that. Like your very percussion hit feeling. This is receiving. Receiving and giving. Receiving and giving. And like, look at my feet. I'm not going back. I'm being defensive then offensive. A lot of people, 1, 2, 1, 2. Karate's not 1, 2, karate's 1. One feeling, yeah? One feeling. The block is the tack is the block. Understand? Kizamazuki. That's easy, yeah? 1, 2. Then 1, down, break. You do last I shot, yeah? So try. Offline. That feeling. Make sure you go offline, yeah? Don't be manhandling him straight on. He's coming offline. Break. Yeah? Like, a lot of people kind of focus on the extremities so the hand comes up. For me, it's about kind of like that shoulder up, closing your armpit. Kind of knee up, closing your hip. Yeah. So shoulder goes up, knee goes up, supporting leg goes down, center of gravity goes down. So and you have that sense of kind of dropping in. So I also like the idea of hizageri. So my geri comes. This kind of feeling, like listen. My geri, drink my geri. So this is a good idea first. Just try this. My geri comes, make sure it's straight. Hey, this now, good idea. Okay, try. Keep your mouth shut. Don't teach whilst you do this. Okay. So my geri comes, blocking inside. Put your glasses on, don't teach what to do. Try that first. Like this thing. Like, try to get above the knee if possible. But all you're doing, this thing, as he's kicking up. Just be gentle, but ultimately, as his trajectory of his legs going up, you're attacking down. Understand? The most important element when you perform the kata is the hikite hand, because that's kind of keeping you square, keeping you straight, kind of feeling what's coming. Like in the form of the kata, you wouldn't obviously apply it like this, but in the form of the kata, shoulder is going up, knee is going up, body mass is going hand down, this is reaching forward. Reach forward, dropping in, finish. Understand? And then within that is the knee block, within that is the arm bar to the thigh, it can be. Okay? Here, this. Then from here, all you're doing is manipulating that. Don't feeling. And before. Want to try that? Of course. So Kizamazuki comes. Oh. 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 And ah. Depth, but within that depth go for breadth. Not just breadth alone, because that we've mastered, like jack of all trades, master of none. No, we want to master that foundation, and then within that foundation, you know, dig out, make it only deep but as broad as possible. So we're maximising the possibilities rather than becoming myopic on one idea. So, like, I think, you know, obviously I'm a professional instructor, so it's my job to think about these things, and my job to go, right, give me a kind of a move in a kata. Okay, I'll show you what I'm thinking about today, what I think this means today. But like, ultimately, if your technique is based on fundamental principle, those principles have different connotations, different meanings, different manifestations. Focus on the principle, then allow those principles to be free within the dynamic of the movement. And then you've always got to get great breadth in your karate as well as depth. And then, of course, your karate can be, you know, artistic and beautiful. Of course, it can be functional. Of course, it can be health-giving. Of course, it can be community kind of driven. It can be many, many things if you kind of fundamentally the principles of that. Understand?